everything you need to know about the version 5.0 release for OnSemble. I'm Kimberly Hitzke, and joining me today are Pathfinders Ann Wirtz, Carissa Fritz, and Courtney Feld. Just to clear up any confusion surrounding the name OnSemble, OnSemble is the new name for the employee portal itself, and the 5.0 release is simply an upgrade to the existing product. Mark your calendars for the launch party on August 19th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. There will be a live stream event for customers to join us, so be sure to dial in. Talk to your CSM for additional information. Our Pathfinders have created some pages on their own and would like to share some of those designs with you. I'm going to turn it over to Carissa Fritz, who will be showing some page designs that she has created. First off, Carissa, what are some of the OnSemble 5 features that you are most excited about?
Well, I think I'm most excited about everything, but if I had to pick a specific few things that I'm probably the most excited about, the first one would be the ability to resize your islands and not be locked into the layout options that were previously in the past framework versions. Probably my top most favorite thing is the drop-down on the Actions button, the ability to edit the content, delete the island, change the island's name directly from that drop-down menu is such a time saver. So I think that's my biggest one.
Those are all very good. All right, well, we're going to jump into the portal and let Carissa demonstrate some of the things that she has created.
Okay, so just to fill you in, we had a little bit of a contest here. We were all kind of tasked with the duty of creating something very unique using all of the new features of OnSemble. So what I did here was create kind of a landing page. I gave it the theme of a sandbox. As you can see, it's very fun. Looks like it's in your backyard. The only islands I used on this page are the new image island, which allows you to put any image on a page. I can bring them to the front. I can send them to the back. So I did a main back image, which is the tree and the yard and everything you see. All of the images, such as the swing set, the dump truck, the sandbox, those are all images that I brought to the front and basically layered over that background there. All of those image islands can be hyperlinked. As you see here, I put text over the top. We can click on, for example, the playing in the sandbox. If you hover over that one, the main graphic there at the top.
Oh, sorry, you said playing.
Playing in the sandbox, that's an image island. So I can go in and put any text, move the text where I want it to live on that image, and then make it hyperlinkable. So, you know, the high fives goes, the little kite that says high fives, that goes to an employee recognition area. What Ann just clicked on here took us to my department page. That is just a sandbox here with links to those department pages. So all of these buttons, everything, all of the images I got from Google, and I created a custom button, but took no design skills from my side. I don't know how to use Photoshop. I don't have any image editing tools. This was all just graphics I was able to find and throw on the page. You will see here I do have a couple rotators as well. The birds rotate, the sun, the clouds, those rotate out, and I can show you how the rotator is very easy to use. So if I click the Actions button, you'll get that drop-down list that I mentioned was my favorite thing. We can go to Manage Carousel Island, and all of these are just new frames. So we can also use a existing user profile picture, but here I just threw images in. So I added new frame. I can upload the image here. Just add another set of birds. We'll need to adjust the size of these, as this is very big here. I can put a URL in, so if I want these images or these birds to link somewhere, I can make that happen. The portal text editor down below has an area where I can put the text that I mentioned, and this is just using that image island. So I can put that text on there, place it somewhere on the image, off to the side of the image, whatever I want that to look like, and then have that particular image hyperlinkable. Okay, and go ahead and hit OK. The other fun piece of this is I do have the ability to set the timer. So if I wanted to change it to 3 seconds, 9 seconds, whatever I want it to be, I can just quickly do that and it instantly changes it. So my rotator will rotate every 3 seconds on that one. I set all my rotators to rotate on different times, so they didn't all rotate at the same time. One I think is 5 seconds, one is around 8, and then I had set the one to 10. So they are off on their times. But as you can see, there's my chirp chirp. If I had had an hyperlink in there, I would have been able to click that and take you to the page or outside link of my choice there.
Clarissa, did you have to get into any HTML or modify any HTML when you were going to this page?
I did not. Nope. I just took the graphics that I wanted and sized them to the size that I wanted and uploaded them to the page.
Great. All right. Thank you, Carissa. Courtney Felt also created some great pages here, so she's going to demonstrate those for us. First off, what is your favorite new tool, Courtney?
I would say if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be the fact, not necessarily a tool, but a feature. The layout restrictions that we had before were a little bit time-consuming if you take into consideration the fact that you have to pay attention to what content is in one island, and compared to what's in the island next to it, and just like white space sometimes is there when you have a lot of content in this one and not the other. And when I created pages before, I found that was a little bit of an impediment. And with the 5.0, all of that is gone. You're able to put the islands wherever you need them to be on the page, and really just very easily and effectively resize them with no layout restrictions. So that's definitely my favorite piece. Okay, so I also created some pages that I wanted to share with you guys. And what I did is I wanted to just quickly recreate a web page with a group, or, showing a group that I work with web page here. It took me about probably 10 minutes total to go in and take a screenshot of each one of these images and place them on the Carousel Island at the top. And then the ones below are just portal text editors, and a couple of them are images, just to kind of show you the difference. But I put them all in there in a matter of minutes, and you can see that each one of them could be linked to different pages or different parts of your portal and different websites as well. And then I also threw together just really quickly a help desk central page where I linked to a bunch of different help desks in the portal that I was in, and just threw some image islands on there and their logo, and within minutes again was able to make a pretty great looking page and show off a lot of different hyperlinks and things like that. So this was my favorite.
Awesome.
Abby Lewis is one of our newest Pathfinders, and she has created some pages to share as well. Abby couldn't join us today, so Carissa is going to demonstrate some of the features that Abby has, and then also give a perspective on a brand new person's thoughts here on the new version.
Okay, so I did talk to Abby before this. Again, she wasn't able to join us today. She is super into fitness and she's healthy, and so her work group and all of her pages were designed around a wellness at work. A lot of groups will do this, put healthy tips and tricks out there, recipes, things that are going on in the community regarding runs, 5Ks that are going on and that type of thing. So she did a really good job doing this, and I'll walk you through some of her pages here. Okay. So when you hit the main Wellness at Work page, this is simply made up of image islands that she was able to grab some clip art off of, I think, Google here, and added a little bit of a custom text. But each one of these areas links to a page that has this information. So she has the Healthy Life, Healthy Mind. So the Healthy Life here, as you scroll down, shows a rotator, mostly portal text editors and image islands, but did a really nice job of having the grass scenery in the background. This is the ability to overlap your islands. So she did a really nice job of showing how that works here. All of her links work and go to different areas, whether inside the portal or outside into specific things. If you click this race day, I believe it takes you to the 5Ks, as I mentioned, that are going on. She did set up a poll here that asked how people like to be active and their favorite things to do, just so she'd get that information there. So lots of good, just healthy ideas, to try and run. Again, all of the 5Ks and races that are going on there. So she did a really nice job displaying that. Okay, we go over to the Healthy Mind. As you can see, she hyperlinked back to the main page, which is always a good best practice. And as you scroll down, there's just some other things that can help reduce stress and that type of thing. So she did a really good job there. Some of the things that she mentioned, and just so you guys know, Abby has only been with us since May. So at this point, that's 3 months or something. But as a new Pathfinder, she's not as knowledgeable on previous versions of framework. So coming in, this is really all she knows. We did not really give her any training on 5.0, but she did mention that with very little knowledge of how to build portal pages and design them, that she was able to jump in and create these pages without hardly any training. So she said it was very intuitive, and that most groups should be able just to jump in, and it's just a normal way to do things. And so very intuitive to use there. So yes, that's good feedback there.
Thanks, Carissa. I'm Kimberly again, and I have been at Passageways for about 10 years now, a little over 10 years. And so I've seen just about every version that we have built. And I have to say that this newest version of Employee Portal, now called OnSemble, is probably my favorite. It really has a designer's spin, and it allows you to bring pages to life. One of the biggest trends is creating a website-y feel in the portal, and this version really allows you to create that without having to have any photo editor tools. You don't have to be a marketing person. You don't have to be a developer or have Photoshop. You can see a couple examples of some of the pages that another one of our newer Pathfinders has built, and there's just a lot of interest that's able to be added with very little knowledge and very little work in general. A few of our customers had a chance to get a sneak peek and work on the new features inside their organization. We have Emily Burns, who's a software admin intern from Farmers and Merchants Bank in Wisconsin, and she's also a newer person. She is excited about the new layout that this new portal version has to offer. The islands can be moved around virtually anywhere on the page, and they can also be stretched so that you can design your content the way you want it to look instead of being limited by frames. Marie Rochelot from Mac Federal Credit Union in Fairbanks, Alaska, She's an HR manager, and she also had a chance to play around a little bit. And she's most excited about using the Carousel Island. The carousel features make a page pop, and you can use it for just about anything. She personally has used it to showcase new products and to promote their Fun at Work program that she's created called Where in the World is Pete? Pete happens to be a little fish. That's their mascot. She also likes having the ability to move islands around on a page very easily, and I think that we would all agree that that's one of the very best features. I'm going to turn it over to Ann Wirtz, who's going to just mention a few additional highlights here that we haven't talked about in our demos.
Okay, great. Thanks, Kim. I'm going to hop over to our portal here, and what I want to show you today, because I'm sure many of you are really questioning how we're going to get everything migrated over from your current production portal to this new updated version of Framework. So I wanted to show you an example of a portal. This is our CSM portal that our group here uses to keep all of their best practices that they share with you guys. There's lots of different types of pages in here. Again, these are all layouts that were restricted to either a single column or double column. And I want to show you and reassure you guys that after you migrate, we're going to try to keep your portal looking as much the same as possible. We've done a lot of work in our quality assurance and development teams to try to ensure this. However, we do want to say that we can't duplicate everyone's environment. So each of you may have some pages that are a little bit different. So we do recommend that you do get a sandbox portal ahead of time, and you can connect with your customer success manager to find some information on that, as well as we'll be sending some FAQs out following the webinar so that you can have some of that information as well. So just to show you really quickly, this is the customer success portal before the migration, and this is the customer success portal after the migration. And you'll notice my content is all brought over. Some of my islands are a bit different in size. We tried to maintain as much consistency as possible. So there may be a little bit of work needed just to go in and tweak your pages just to make them look a little bit better. You can see this one here has some scroll bars. I need to make it just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to start at the bottom and just kind of slide some things down. This is going to give you a little bit of an idea of how I think I need to sign back out and in again. My top secret password, don't share that. But again, this will kind of demonstrate how easy this is going to be just to kind of move your pages around. You can see now that we just have this drag and drop feature. We also have a new grid feature, so this will help really line up your pages, and it snaps to the grid. I'm doing this on a different mouse, so it's got a little bit of a different
a little different reaction time there.
Mm-hmm. This one I'm going to make just a little bit bigger, so you'll see we have some resize in the corner here, and this one I'll resize a little bit. But you can see how quick and easy that is just to readjust your pages and make them look pretty much identical to what they looked at before. This one's going to need to be a little bit bigger. And then you just adjust from there, but super easy to do and just a lot of functionality. You know, a lot of people decide, you know, we don't have to have just one column anymore, so I can shrink this. I can shrink this one up. I can shrink this one up. I can have 2 columns. If I wanted to add another column, I can do that. I can do that on any of my pages. So that's what your migration is going to look like after you update to 5.0. It is a standard update. It's run through Expressway. obviously you can contact us before you update. We'll check your portal and make sure it's all ready to go. There's not a charge for this upgrade, just so you know. It is part of your support and maintenance. There's not an upgrade for the migration, and we can't wait until you guys get this in your hands. This is not a required upgrade, and the fact that you don't have to do this immediately. It's not going to be forced out to everybody. If you're a hosted customer, we will be reaching out and doing those updates upon request so that your portal isn't just changed, because a lot of times we do push those out. We'll be doing that a little bit differently this time as well. Were there any other customers, Carissa, that any customers have?
Yeah.
Is there a minimum version needed before upgrading to OnSemble? We will upgrade from anything above 4.5.2 onwards. If you're below that, those versions really are no longer supported. Those are kind of special cases. But we will be upgrading. You basically have to go through all of the upgrades prior to this version. So 4.12.4 is the current version. So the sooner you can get on that version, the better. That upgrade is much simpler. We do recommend that you keep up with updates. We will do technical support for any older portals, but from a development standpoint, we don't fix bugs in older versions. So if you have an issue, the solution is going to be to upgrade. So just kind of keep that in mind. We know this is going to be a big upgrade for your organization, so we're certainly willing to work with you to get a sandbox portal, data remigrations, and anything that we can do to make this process smoother for your organization. Are there any other questions that need to be covered?
No, I think most of the questions are just regarding functionality. So
okay. We did migrate any custom themes that come over. So if you had a custom theme, in the past those used to be manual updates to custom themes. We tried to automate that. There may be some tweaks, some minor tweaks afterwards, but that's something that you'll just want to keep in mind. In addition to all the great new look and feel we've added, we did do some additional features that you guys have been asking for quite some time. I think probably one that people are going to like the most is the fact that we now can copy tabbed islands. So if you have a page, which many of you use tabbed islands, you can create those and then you can take a copy of that, and that will copy the content onto a new page. So that was something that people have been asking for quite some time, and we were finally able to make that happen. Another one was some updates to our list island. We did do, a lot of people wanted the ability to choose which fields show up for documents. So now if I don't want I can add all these fields if I want to. This was primarily for database documents, which I don't have a sample of that on this list, but a lot of people wanted to remove the checked out, checked in details. Those were showing up on network and database documents. So we now gave you the ability to choose fields. So if you only want that initial document listed there, you can just remove all the fields, and it's a super clean looking island. The next feature is one that I'm kind of excited about as well. A lot of people were asking for the ability to somehow link to a folder on the list island so that if I add a document in Portal Documents, it automatically shows up here. Because as you know, the current process to do that is to upload into Portal Documents and then go to your list island and select that document. So this list island on this side is actually a link to the CFM Education folder. So I'm going to go down here into Portal Documents, and I'm going to hopefully find the CFM Education folder. And it's right here. You can see I only have one document there. I'm just going to go ahead and upload another document. We haven't implemented the multiple document upload, but we are looking at getting that in one of our near future updates. So we're still looking at that. We've got a lot we still want to do. But if you go back here and look at that list island, you can see now that that document is on this list island. I didn't have to do anything else here, as opposed to the other list island here, which was just a link to that same document. So I think that will be a great addition to the portal.
That's cool. And we have a question. Someone asked about the icons. They seem a little bit smaller. Is that new?
That is new. We did have a lot of requests to make those icons smaller because they were taking up too much space on the page. So we just created some smaller icons. And you'll see as well, it's not as noticeable with the theme that I have selected, but we have changed our other icons in the portal so that the portal will have a new look and feel when you update. So
great.
We also have some changes to our anniversary and birthday islands. Not huge changes, but just some minor things that people were asking about. Both islands now can show anniversaries by the month, so that you can easily see any of the upcoming month or the previous month, so you don't have to miss a birthday or an anniversary anymore. We also have a way to configure the anniversary island now, and you can only show the workgroup members. That was a feature that was not available before. It always showed everyone in your organization. That is available on the birthday island as well. And you guys will notice my action buttons have a little bit of a dot here. That's due to my theme. We have to do a little bit of a fix on my theme. So that's something that you won't see on your portal.
Do the anniversaries still sort by years, or is it by date now?
The anniversary island will actually sort by the date of the month and not by the year. So I don't have an example here, but that way you can see what's happening as they occur. It'll make it a little bit easier not to miss an anniversary as well.
Thanks.
The other thing, there's just a couple of things I want to show you as far as the user interface goes, and I am going to quickly change my theme. I'm going to go back to use the default theme that we have. Always a good idea to refresh your cache after you change a theme. And just for extra caution here, I'm going to sign out and sign back in. If you're using our default theme, then after the update, this is the navigation tree that you're going to see. If you're using a custom theme, your custom navigation will not be changed. But I wanted to show you some awesome things that we provided in the user interface. So we have added some additional user interface settings. One of them is the portal name, and I'm just going to change this to Welcome to Voyager. And you'll see once I save these and refresh, my tab in my browser is going to change to have a new name. We also have the ability now to change the name of public pages. A lot of people didn't like that name, and they wanted to change that, and there really wasn't a good way to do that. So I'm going to change that to shared pages. A lot of customers now are choosing to show to collapse the portal navigation by default. So when your users come in, it's always in this state, and then you can click to open. This was something that we could do from the back end as well, but it always required a call to tech support, and it could be overwritten in an update. So we finally gave you the ability to do this as well. The biggest one here, and the one that I think is going to be a big hit, is the fact that you can now turn off your island frames or skins, as we refer to them on the page. Once my island frames are off, the borders around your islands will not show. Now this may require a little adjustment to your theme because it uses a different style class in your style sheet. So there might be a tweak the first time you do this, but it's a super easy change on the back end. And then what I'm going to do here too is we have some island colors. The background now can be transparent per island. And then I'm going to do I'll just take blue, just because I don't know any hex. That can also be, what are they called, Kim? I'm drawing a hex value for your color code there. So you can get these as detailed as you want. I'm going to refresh here.
And if I change my skins or the frames, does that apply to the entire portal, or can I change it by page?
The frames apply to the entire portal. So now when I go back to look at one of my pages that I had before, you'll see here that I don't have any frames on here at all. Now it looks like I still have a color in my title bar. This is controlled in your theme, in your CSS file, and I can actually change this to transparent as well, so that it only shows up when you hover over it. And that's how we have a lot of our portals set up. If you look over here at Voyager 1, you'll see here if I go to a workgroup page, and we have our, unfortunately, we have our session set really low, so we have to do a lot of framing back in. But you'll see here when I hover over these islands, I don't see that title, and we call that a hover over transparent. So this is something that you can easily set in your theme. You'll also notice here that this action icon is now a black cog. We also have supplied a white cog, so you can switch that back and forth easily between black and white. That's also something that's done from the back end in your themes folder.
And that would mean on the server side. So you can contact tech support and they can help you with that, or contact your CSM and we'll make sure that that gets done for you.
Yep. So just to kind of show you really quickly, I picked a really ugly blue color here, unfortunately. But now what I can do is per island, I can toggle the color. So right now I have a transparent and a blue color, so I can easily toggle back and forth between those. So I can have one that's blue, I can have one that's transparent. If I go back and change my blue color, which I can quickly do, then that will actually change all my blue islands, and we'll just change it to red. So that will change anything that was set to that color to the new color. So if you have a color, you want to change your colors, it's really easy to do that just from changing it in one place. So I'm going to hop off of that page because I don't like that red color. We have changed the search now, the employee directory search, so it does include the extension on that search. That was something that was requested. Many of you have an employee directory with extension. You will no longer need to use that, so that feature is in there as well. And then we have also changed our help and resources links in here so that these go to the new support center and communities. These are going to open in new tabs. I have my blocked there. We do strongly encourage that you use the support center and the help centers. We also have included in here a link to our education and training site, so you can get quick access to guides and recordings and schedules for upcoming trainings. We have a link to our product feature ideas, so if you have any ideas on how we can make the product better, you can click here and that'll take you directly to the support center to that site. So is there anything I've missed or any other questions that we need to answer? There's just a lot. If you want to see more details, we can get you a login to Voyager 1, so connect with your CSM on that. And certainly you can contact us with any other questions that you might have that we haven't covered.
Looks like the only couple questions about after upgrading, we covered if they'll notice a difference, but will the island skins disappear?
The island skins will not disappear until after you turn them off. The only thing that you should have to do after the update is look at your islands and possibly resize and move around and rearrange. We tried to get them as close as possible, but that's something that you may have to do.
Okay. And can you explain the sandbox a little bit more? What is a sandbox?
A sandbox is simply a copy of your production portal. It's something that you do purchase from your CSM. A purchase of Sandbox includes a data migration, something that tech support does, and we simply copy your production portal, bring all your data over, change the URL, and that way you can actually test any updates on your sandbox prior to putting it on a production. So you can go through all your pages, you can have a group of people at your organization to help test and check to make sure everything is good. So strongly encourage that. If you already have a sandbox and you need your data remigrated, we do have a data migration as well. So certainly reach out to your CSM for those questions.
Okay, I don't think we have any other questions.
Great, and I will turn it back over to Kimberly, and she could talk about our live stream event.
Okay. So the live stream event is coming during the launch party. So this is, again, on the 19th at 2 p.m. So you can join us for that live party with the Pathfinders. We're going to have a little bit of a celebration here with some party favors and some fun. So be sure to be there. You will be dialed in. So you'll actually virtually be there with the Pathfinders. And if you are not a Twitter user, you will want to sign up and start tweeting why you love your portal. Use hashtag #ILoveEnsemble, and on the 19th during that live launch event, 3 winners will be randomly selected to receive a $75 Amazon gift card. You can visit passageways.com/ensemble-launch for additional information or talk to your CSM. And
one question, Kim.
Okay.
So during the launch party, is that when the update's going to be available?
We are currently working on some final tweaks to the update. We actually will probably release prior to, possibly on Monday or Tuesday, but most definitely by Wednesday we'll have the release will be available to everyone. We will send out a release email to let everyone know when that is available, just like we have in the past, and we'll have release notes on the support center, etc.
Perfect. Perfect. And I can run Expressway then.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perfect. All right. Passageways University is coming up, and fall will be here before we know it. So you can go out for additional information on that at passageways.com/university. You can actually register now for those sessions. You see we have, of course, all of our normal tracks, but we've also added a page design track. This is the new release feature training and page design best practices. It's a tough one to say. So it's a live hands-on. You would be here at our Passageways office in downtown Lafayette, and you will see all of the Pathfinders in our natural habitat. All right, any other questions we missed? I think we probably have covered about everything.
Yeah, it looks like I don't have any questions showing just this moment, but a lot of people are saying they're really excited and are really looking forward to the update coming out.
Great. Well, thank you all for attending. I hope you found this webinar to be informative. If you have additional questions, obviously contact us, contact your CSM or your tech support team, and we will make sure to get those answers for you.
Okay, thank you, everyone.